Hello everyone out there. Update on a recent guest. We featured Sophia Softisnall on episode 57 of this podcast. On the episode, we discussed her branching into electronic music in the near future. Her first electronic track collaboration dropped recently. Let's hear a portion of that song before introducing our guest for today. Here is Sophia on the vocals for the track Swim Dizzy Remix by Undertow featuring Blue Lady on YouTube and SoundCloud. Welcome to the NoCo, bringing Northern Colorado together one conversation at a time. I am your host, Ivan Wayne. Are you ready? I sure hope so. You have to check out the Desk Chair Workspace in downtown Loveland. Seriously, they would love to give you a tour if you stop by. What a cool facility. We have 3 guests today who will tell you all about this relatively new establishment in downtown Loveland that brings together entrepreneurs and businesses of all kinds. Plus, when you're there, you get to feel like you're in the wonderful show Mad Men. Stay tuned to find out just why that is. Without more delay, here they are, Jim, Lucy, and Jesse. Hello, listeners, and welcome to the NoCo. I am joined by 3 guests today, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we'll jump into the topic of today.
My name is Jessie, and I'm the event director at Desk Chair Workspace.
My name is Lucy Wanaka. I am the cafe manager at 5 Tables Cafe, which is inside of Desk Chair Workspace.
And my name is Jim Doherty. I am the sales manager of Desk Chair Workspace.
So for those out there who may or may not be familiar, what is Desk Chair Workspace?
Okay, Desk Chair Workspace is a co-working community. And for those who don't know what co-working is, my elevator pitch, what I explain to everybody, is that we offer world-class office space with incredibly nice amenities, as little as 1 desk at a time on a month-to-month basis. That's, in short, is really what we offer. So we offer office space for folks who want to branch out on their own, become an entrepreneur, or maybe they're a field service person for a larger company. We give them the opportunity to office in a very professional environment on a month-to-month basis.
Yeah, it's a really cool space. I've been around downtown Loveland a lot. I've seen the marquee outside, but I've never been in here.
Yeah, to have Desk Chair Workspace in downtown Loveland is something really special. I call it a gem for Loveland. If you walk in here, you will see incredible architecture, some museum quality art on the walls, and it has a mid-century modern decor within it. So it's super elegant, and I tell everyone this as well, that this would fit in downtown Manhattan, Paris, or London. It's really that nice.
So how did this place come to be? Whose idea child was this, and where did it get started?
Yeah, this is the brainchild of Doug Arian. Doug is part of a very prominent family in Loveland. When the building came up for sale, he bought it, not knowing exactly what he wanted to do with it, but he was very successful with starting Artworks, which is around the corner from Desk Chair. It's a co-working space for artists. And thought that went so well that he thought he'd open up a co-working space for professionals. And so that's where it came from.
So people who may be teetering on this idea of a co-working space, is it just it allows entrepreneurs to interact with each other, make connections, get in this sense of community? Maybe some people just want a place to go in, not necessarily work from home?
That's right. Yeah, I mentioned what we are, but really what happens inside Desk Chair is the collaboration. It happens organically. The members find out what each other do. And we do kind of encourage that with one of our amenities is offering a free pour of beer or wine at the end of the day. And that encourages people to get together towards the end of the day and kind of learn more about each other. And we do meet and greets at least once a month as well.
That is so neat. I've never heard of this. At the end of the day, a free pour and just sit down, and maybe that's when some of the real deals happen and the good connections.
That's right. And we've got a number of examples of people working together. Realtors using our graphic artists, realtors using our web developers, realtors using our roofing company in buildings. So, and it's not them. We had a app developers doing work for some people in the building as well. So yeah, it's collaborating, and it's happening more and more as we move on.
Yeah. So I originally found you all because of the Five Tables Cafe. That's how I came in contact with you, and then found out it's part of this larger organism. So I think I found Five Tables on Instagram. So what is Five Tables, and where does it fit into all this?
Yeah, so Five Tables Cafe is a grab-and-go cafe. Our main purpose is to serve the desk chair community, but we're also open to the public. We want to welcome downtown Loveland into the cafe, into the building, so that we can show off our beautiful space. So we focus on a lot of healthy, fresh, grab-and-go food. So yeah, our cafe serves a lot of purposes in the building. We do complimentary coffee for our members. We have rooftop parties. We do all sorts of events. So it works really well to have a cafe inside the space that can it's an extra amenity.
And I noticed online that you all have some sort of event space under construction. What is that about?
So we used to have an event space that we had for the first 6 months, and it actually ended up getting rented out by a company that expanded in our space. And so the events were going so well that they decided to make us a new one. So hopefully it'll be open in the next month, and we're really excited about it.
So what will you all be able to do with the event space?
You can do anything from a baby shower to a reception to a luncheon, a conference. Really, we kind of want to go across the board with the kind of events that we do in the space.
And how do companies get involved here just at Desk Chair? How does the process start with, I think this could be for me, but I'm not sure?
Yeah, when a company wants to get involved, it literally takes 15 minutes to get somebody signed up. We provide all the furniture, all the utilities, janitorial services, everything. A company just needs to show up with their own computers, and maybe if they need extra file space, drawers, they can bring their own. But we do provide desk, chair, file cabinet, trash cans, just everything they need to get going. And everything, again, is a membership. It's membership based. It's not a lease. So they sign up, they can get going in about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And we just provide everything that they need, and they're up and running.
And does membership allow people, if they suddenly decide that this setup is not for them, it allows for kind of an easy cessation of membership and being here?
Yes, that's exactly what we offer. It's month to month. Truly is. We do ask for a 30-day notice. So, I guess when you first start, you're committing to 2 months, because you got the first month, and then you give us 30 days, you can be gone the second month. But it's truly month to month. And
do y'all feel like your location here in downtown Loveland gives you success here and helps people come in? I just feel like it looks great outside. It's got to be a hot spot location. It's got to be a draw for both clients and customers.
Yeah, I think that we're bringing something really unique to downtown Loveland. I think downtown Loveland needed a professional office space, essentially, and a community building. Being in the cafe so much, I see people interacting all the time. So members will bring clients in. Downtown Loveland itself comes into the cafe. So I think our presence down here is really necessary, really needed, and it's really elevating downtown Loveland.
Yeah, the location is outstanding, right on the corner of 2 main streets in downtown Loveland. But what's really cool is Loveland is now finally starting to blossom. I grew up here, and for the longest time, it's just been a dog of a town. But now it's starting to bloom. We're getting some great restaurants and microbrews. And to have Desk Chair right on the corner and be a professional and social hub for the town is just wonderful. It truly is a gem for the town. With the Foundry coming in, the apartments are being filled right now, and that's helping. We have some people that live there are members here. But when they open up the movie theater, it's going to add a whole new dimension and energy to downtown. And we'll just bring more and more exposure to Desk Chair.
So this is the first time hearing of something called the Foundry. Do you mind delving into what this is?
Sure. The Foundry is a huge project that was put together by Brinkman, the big contractor Brinkman in the city of Loveland. It's about 155 apartment units. They're brand new. One lines the Cleveland side, one lines the Lincoln side. And then down below on the first level are going to be a series of retail shops and restaurants with a big, huge open plaza in the middle. So it's going to be very family friendly, open to the public, the plaza is. And then directly north of the apartment buildings is going to be a 7-screen movie theater.
Oh, wow.
with first-run movies, not second-run movies. They're first-run movies.
So the popular ones.
The real ones.
It won't be a dollar theater.
That's right.
Right,
Yeah.
getting those hot fire 2016 releases. Yeah. So what brought you all to Desk Chair Workspace or Five Tables Cafe? How'd you end up here?
I'm also born and raised in Loveland, so I've always been involved downtown community. I had a lot of restaurant and managing experience, so that's how I got involved, and I'm incredibly happy to be here.
I actually went to high school with Lucy, and we've stayed friends throughout the time, and we ran into each other, and she was talking about this project, and she kind of headhunted me. She was like, you need to come be a part of this and work with me, and so I actually can owe my job to Lucy.
Well, there it is. And have kept in contact this whole time. So 3 people from Loveland, right?
Yep.
How do you feel about the influx of just people to the area? Northern Colorado's blowing up, to say the least. And just how do you feel Loveland is changing and has changed over the last 5-10 years even?
I think it's great. Loveland was always a bit older of a demographic. I think in the last 5-10 years, a lot of young people have moved to Loveland or moved back to Loveland, and I think it's definitely a really positive change for the city. We have a lot of really exciting things happening in Loveland right now, and I think it's a great place to be.
Yeah, I'll second that. I've been here. My family's been here since 1971. And all these literally decades, my parents, they would not eat dinner in Loveland. There was nothing here. They'd take their money and spend it in Fort Collins and Boulder and Denver. But now Loveland is blooming. I mean, it's super cool to see a younger crowd come down with some high quality restaurants, microbrews, and even retail shops. It's super cool.
I'm going to third that. I moved to Fort Collins and I came back to Loveland, and I had fought my fiance. I told him Loveland sucks. I don't want to live there. And now being a part of Desk Chair and having this event space and seeing all of the growth and all of the businesses that come in and out of here and are hosting events and watching like the downtown community grow, I'm super excited to be a part of it. And I think that Desk Chair is a big part of it because we do offer a space that allows like everybody to come in and kind of do whatever they want with it. So I'm excited for the growth of Loveland. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but I was driving downtown to go to one of the first interviews here of the show, and I look up and I see this rooftop bar in Loveland on like a 3rd story, and I was like, whoa, am I in the right town? Like, this is not the Loveland I know. I moved here in 2014, and just in the last 5 years, I feel like Loveland has changed a lot, and some of the businesses we've had on the show have started since 2014.
Yeah, downtown Loveland's blown up for sure, and that is something maybe we didn't mention yet, is we do have an awesome rooftop. It's for members to use throughout the week, and then it's also available to rent. So if you want to rent the rooftop, Loveland's only rooftop, you can get in touch with Jessie, and we'll throw a really big party for you.
Without exaggeration, it's the best rooftop patio in northern Colorado. It has an unobstructed view of the mountains, just an incredible place.
And so this is a place that members can go up and do work during the day, and then as well, you rent it out for events on top of that. So it's like dual purpose.
That's right. Yeah, I failed to mention that. It's one of the amenities that are offered to the members here. They have full-on access to the rooftop. They can work, they can eat up there, they can bring their family, friends, do businesses, customer appreciation, get-togethers. It's their space to use Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. After 5 o'clock, during the week and on weekends, it can be rented by the public.
Yeah. And when did this place open its doors? How long have you all been around?
We officially opened June 1st, 2018, so we're about 6-7 months in.
Wow, okay. Just a few weeks before this podcast lifted off the ground. Okay, it's brand new. And in this less than a year's time, have you all learned some valuable lessons, or did you feel like you were going to inhabit a certain corner of this Loveland ecosystem and you've had to make changes, or you had some surprises already?
Yeah, we've had to be very flexible about what we thought this place was going to be and what it's turning out to be. And I say that mostly with respect to, say, our event space on the third floor. It was a spectacular event space. Jesse had a number of really cool events up there. But we had one of our members, who was the accounting department of a larger company, who was here already, convinced their management team to come over and take a look at our building. And they proposed to take over the whole third floor. So just like that, we had to do a tenant finish for them. That took away Jesse's event space, so now we had to pivot and move down to the first floor on the north end of the building and do a whole renovation to finish that event space. And there's been a couple other situations like that in the building where we thought some open air desks would be used up first and the more expensive private suites would take a while to fill. And it's been just the opposite. It's we're filling up the private suites and the high-end places first, and we have the biggest opportunity with our open-air kind of true co-working environments available.
Any idea why these upper echelon places and spots seem to be going faster?
They're just super cool. I mean, they're glass enclosed cubicles. You know, we put frost on there for a bit of privacy. They get to put. It's part of the deal. They get to put their logo on the door if they want to. It's just super elegant, and when they see it, that's what they're gravitating toward, more of the private suites than the open-air desks.
Yeah, walking in here, just the design, I don't know if you all are familiar, but it reminded me of Mad Men, just a show with the office suites they end up with at the end. Just the design is very impressive, and like I said, I've never been in here before, but it's just a really cool looking space, and we're up here on the second floor. And was that design intentional from before construction began, or what was this space beforehand?
Well, just real quick, you said Mad Men. It's funny you say that because the decor throughout the whole thing is mid-century modern, so 1940 to 1970s, somewhere in there.
There it is.
Falls right in Mad Men, yeah.
Right.
And it's something that we failed to mention is we have a liquor license for the whole building. So like Mad Men, you can take your beer or glass of wine at the end of the day and take it back to your desk.
Right.
You do not, or if you want to buy one earlier, you can leave the cafe area and take it up to your desk.
And at that fact, I'm sure we have some listeners clicking over and signing up immediately because they're like, I can drink at work, and one of them will be on the house, then where do I sign? Give me one of those cheap desks you were talking about. So I have to ask, just out of pure curiosity, what does the name 5 Tables mean? Do you have 5 tables in the cafe?
We literally have 5 tables in the cafe. It's a tiny space, which works really well with the grab-and-go concept. Not a lot of people hang out, eat their sandwiches, enjoy their food there. They take it back to their desks or they take it back to work. The main purpose of 5 tables is just to be like super fast, quick, and convenient. So yeah, that is it. We have 5 tables. You can count them.
Adequately named. But you said earlier, you find people stopping in and getting a quick bite to eat even if they don't work here.
Yeah, and it's growing too. The more people that are moving downtown, the more people that are working downtown, officing downtown, the more business we're getting. People need a quick, healthy place just to grab a bite and get back to work.
Yeah. So is there anything specific? What's been on your mind lately for your roles in desk chair, or anything that's on the agenda in the next 6 months that you're kind of excited to tackle?
I'm really excited for the event space to open. It's going to be a world-class place. We have a really, really talented designer, Sherry Ames, working to make the entire place just absolutely beautiful. It's a gorgeous spot. We're outfitting it with just the finest finishes, and Jessie does a really, really good job throwing an event.
Yeah, I love my job, and I haven't had an event space for the last 3 months. So I'm super excited to kind of get back in the way of things and really start hosting some super awesome events. We're working on our next Power Breakfast, which last year now we had Molly Bloom. So we're excited to figure out who our next speaker will be and kind of start planning that. So yeah, I'm excited.
Did you have any events booked before the space was ready?
Yes, I did, and I can't even tell you how many events that we didn't get to hold because of the event space being under construction. So, it's been interesting.
But you must have been a great pitch person for someone to decide to throw an event without even knowing what it was going to look like. That's a risk.
Yeah, I'm really good at selling things. Just kidding. No, I think that they're able to look at the building, walk in, and see everything else as they walk through and be like, okay, if they can put the 5 stories together and look this beautiful, their event space is going to be beautiful too.
So that event space is coming online soon, right?
Yes, it hopefully will be open at the end of the month.
And do you have any ideas in mind for open invite events to the public, or that probably depends on the host of said event, right?
Yeah, so we do a couple open invite events a month. We do a food for thought. It's the first Wednesday of every month. It's kind of an education initiative. We bring in local speakers, people professionals in their own field, people who have really interesting stories. Last month we had Jackie Marsh, who is the mayor of Loveland. This next month we have Tom Hewson, who was a high school teacher, and now he is a farmer. He grows hemp, CBD hemp. And he's going to talk about that industry, talk about how it's changing, and talk about the processes, everything he's had to go through. So he's got a really interesting story. He's a pretty well-known person in Loveland, so that's going to be a really fun one.
That's very cool.
That was the whole idea for Food for Thought. We just wanted to bring compelling speakers into the building for our members and for the general public to come on in. So as Lucy mentioned, we've had Jackie Marsh, who has a crazy interesting story. She didn't talk about politics. She was one of the barrier breakers of women long distance running. As early as, or most recently as the 70s, they were not allowed to run marathons. So she came and spoke about her job in doing that. And then, so that was the whole idea, is just to bring in compelling speakers. And and also coinciding with the Food for Thought, we have a free co-working day. So on first Wednesday of every month, the public can come in, sit down in our hot desk area or open area and sit down and work.
Okay, so these both are occurring the first Wednesday of every month. Did I hear that right?
Yep.
So free co-working space occurs all day. And so that's the first Wednesday. People can come in, just try it before you buy it kind of thing. Or maybe they just want to check out. They heard the podcast and they're thinking, maybe that's for me.
That's exactly right. Yep. It's all day. Come in. You get to experience the whole thing and see the energy that's happening in the building. And then the Food for Thought is over the lunch hour. It's a brown bag. Food for Thought's our cute term for lunch and learn. Okay. So people can bring their own lunch, or they can get a wonderful sandwich or lunch from the cafe and just sit and be either entertained or educated, because our speakers are very, very interesting.
Okay, and for a full list of events, where should we send people if they're curious in walking in a desk chair and coming to one of these open events?
So we advertise our events on our social media and then also on our website. So if you go to the events page on the Desk Chair website, you can see any and every upcoming event that we'll have in the space.
And how have you found most businesses and clients of yours have found you all? Was it through social media? Was it through referrals, website? Did they literally walk in from the street? And
it's a little of everything you just mentioned. This was a 3-year construction renovation project, so people were just super curious about what was happening, and once they were educated and we were able to give tours, that's how we got some people. Our social media activities, generating traffic and getting people in here, and then referrals. The biggest referral I already mentioned, that was a 4-person accounting department of a larger company, was here, and they convinced their management to finish the 3rd floor. So it went from 4 people to 37 people. Yeah. Or not 37 people, but they built out space. That's the equivalent of 37 desks. Wow. So that was a great success story.
Are there any big future events the listeners should know about or coming down the pipeline?
Once the new event space, which we're calling the Cleveland Room, once that room is open, we're going to have a great big open house, invite the entire public in, everybody who wants to see it, anybody who's interested in hosting another event, stuff like that, everybody's welcome. I'm sure we'll have some live music, we'll have drinks, food, the whole shebang. We know how to throw some pretty good parties here.
Yep. Yeah. And then the Food for Thought, we already mentioned Tom Hewson, who is in the CBD and hemp industry. He's in March, and then in April, super cool story, one of our members is an engineer who has an Academy Award. on the technical side. Not only Academy Award, but an Emmy as well. Him and his team developed a super high-speed digital camera. So a lot of the slow motion scenes you see in the current movies, and the super slow-mo feature you watch in baseball games was developed by a gentleman by the name of Richard Toffness, who is a member here in our building. He's going to talk about his Academy Award adventure, so to speak. So it's going to be super exciting, super interesting.
I imagine that if people were to look at the rap sheet of all the businesses that call this place home, you probably would be surprised at the diversity and just I don't want to use the word random, but just how incredibly different all the businesses are that are here.
That's exactly right. We have everything from a roofing company to a masseuse to a minister. But the biggest, I'd say, concentration of people are in the IT software industry. But yeah, we've got realtors, we've got Realtor Row in the building, a bunch of them right in a row here. A larger company, the one I mentioned on the third floor, is in the oil and gas related industry. We got roofers, movers, fitness trainer. It runs the gamut.
Yeah. And so is there anything that each of you would like to leave with our listeners about Desk Chair or Five Tables as we close out here?
I would just recommend that everybody takes advantage of Free Co-working Wednesday. It's a really fun time. You have to be in the building, and once you're in here, you'll just understand the vibe that we're going for, the atmosphere that we create. It's a really productive place to be. So I just recommend that everybody comes and takes advantage of that.
Yeah, if you're in the Loveland area of northern Colorado, you have to come and see this building just for a tour. Even if you're not looking for office space, you need to come down and check out this building. The architecture, the interior design, and the artwork. I don't think I failed to mention. I failed to mention artwork on our walls. The owner is an artist and a huge fan of mid-century modern abstract art. And the artists' work that are on the walls here are all museum quality pieces. If you knew that world, you'd be astonished at the people on the wall. I was trying to think the other day how many tours I've given. It's probably close to 800. 5 people of all those 800 knew that world and were just blown away. They could not believe the names. They are truly museum quality prints.
I think I would say just to come check out the free co-working or one of our free events. Definitely the open house, because if you are looking for a place to hold a luncheon, a conference, a wedding reception, or whatever, we have the spot for you, whether it's the rooftop or our new event space.
And I can attest walking in here and only contacting you, not because of co-working, but because of Five Tables Cafe being located in downtown Loveland, how cool the space is, and just thank you all for existing and being such a fascinating business here in downtown, thriving Loveland, as we mentioned. So thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan.
I have some shout-outs for a couple people who make this show live and breathe, making it all possible. Trevor Fossey edits, mixes, and EQs our episodes, putting the time in behind the scenes. Russell Isaac Long provides us with the wonderful music that greets and departs all our episodes here at the NoCo. It's people like these two who have made this show possible, and I thank you both very much. To stay connected with the NoCo, follow us on Instagram or Facebook at the NoCo. Original, right? Don't worry, listener. We will be back soon with another episode featuring another person or a group of people. Thank you to everyone out there for listening and supporting the show and bringing our community together. Until next time, peace!